Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we are gonna see a navigation bar and a simple sliding menu bar depending on the size of the window. Here you could see that I have a navigation bar where if I'll be like pointing my cursor, it will take me to the details of the particular page. So whenever you're designing the web page, first of all, the main thing which you would be designing is the navigation bar, the one which is at the top. And as soon as I decrease my screen size, you could see that as soon as I decrease it below a particular size, we will be getting a hamburger menu over here. And whenever I'll be clicking this menu, you could see that I'm getting the same navigation bar in a different angle. And this is very simple. Like whenever you're creating a website, you should have the main idea how to design it, how you would be having it. In my case, whenever I want to design a website, I would be thinking it as like different divs, how I want to design it and how it should be and everything. So before designing everything, I would suggest to please think about how you want to design it and what all things you need to mention it. And I basically believe that every website or anything you believe is totally based upon your basics. So that's why I'm doing these type of projects so that you get well acquainted with your basics and you get a lot of practice. This is actually a very simple thing which usually people find it very difficult at the start, but it's very simple. It's just I would explain how we are gonna design it first. So if you could see this navigation bar, this would be a total particular div, and also when I'll be pressing this particular login button, we'll be getting a form where we have to fill. I'm not like designing the form particularly, but I would be saying it like how to design it. And then whenever I'll be pressing this icon, it would just vanish. Just in the case of if you see any other website, wherever you would press this login button, you would get a separate form. So first of all, before started designing this particular navigation bar and the sliding menu, if you see the sliding menu, if I click it back, it would go back. So before designing, I was thinking like how it should be and how I should design it. So first of all, I need to know the size of my particular screen such that whenever I'm like decreasing the size of my screen, this should vanish. This particular bar should vanish and I should be getting a particular hamburger icon. So this can happen with the help of @media in CSS. In CSS, you could control the display of your elements or of your divs based on the basis of @media, where you could put as maximum width and minimum width. And once I get down the minimum width, I would be getting this hamburger icon. And based upon the @event listener in JavaScript, whenever I'll be clicking this one, I should get all these details. And whenever I'll be clicking it back, it should go back. So this one is another div. So we have two divs over here. And the last div is whenever I'll be clicking this one, I would be getting a form. So this one would be a particular div. And whenever I'll be clicking this back, it should vanish. So this one depends on the display property. You can put it as display none, just such like that. And we would be discussing why we won't be using visibility. What's the difference between actually visibility hidden and display none? So these are the two main things to let your things get vanished in while you're designing anything. But you should know the main difference between these two things. How the first one is different from the other. So let's start designing our website now. I mean like designing our navigation bar and the sliding bar and everything else. Let's start. So I have created my index.html, styles.css and app.js files, and also I have included my font awesome as I told you in the previous class. So my font awesome is already included font awesome folder. So I would need the font awesome for two things, the hamburger icon over here, and also for the cross mark, when I'll be pressing this login, I need this cross mark. This one is a icon too, so I would need two icons in my project. So first, so let's start doing it. So it's the same way as we discussed in the previous. So I would be using this as a navigation bar, and also I would just link my CSS. So just see that I'm learning from my mistakes, that I always used to forgot to link up my CSS. That's why I'm linking it right now itself. And also, since I need to use my font awesome, I would link the font awesome too at the same time. And also my JavaScript too. So this would be I've learned that this one is the first thing that I need to do while I'm designing something. So there won't be any more mistakes like about the linking of the my files. So for the first thing which I need to do is I will be creating this particular icon over here. So first we'll be designing this. So this one would be my sliding menu. So I can define a class just by dot sliding bar. Mm, yes, and then I need the hamburger icon, which I would be getting from the font awesome, which we have seen in the previous uh, projects. Hamburger icon. So here it is, our hamburger icon bars. I'll be just copy pasting it. And since you could see that we already got, okay, so first, no, this is our main. So we need to open with live server. Since you could see that we have already got our hamburger icon, but it is very small as compared to this one. In order to increase the size of our icon, we could, like in any icon, we could use this one, 2x. Let us see if yes, it's perfect now as compared to our hamburger icon. It's perfect. So maybe like or 1.5, no, 0.8, 2. Yeah, 2 is good. I liked. And also, I would be using a particular div for this one, stating it as I bar icon. And so first, I would tell you that everything in HTML is a div. Everything in whatever the website I'm creating, everything is a div. So whenever you're defining anything, please make sure that is a div. Every div is another block element, so we have to make sure that it would be like that. And the next thing which I need to define, which I need to write, is my button, my links. So I would be defining another div for this one, which would be links. And since it's an unordered list, so it would be a link. And since it's I'm using just a dummy link, so hash means dummy over there, that we are not going anywhere. So home, I think there are 4, 2, 3, 4 home details. Contact, fine. So we got our four things. Yep. So yes. And the next thing which I want to design, or maybe first of all, we could design this first of all, but completely. So what I would do is I would go to my style CSS, and the same thing which we'll be doing is box sizing is border box, and since we have this now, I want to define, since it's a sliding bar, sliding a bar, sliding bar, and I want to define the display as flex. You would see that everything comes in this way, but since it's a basic, the default one is flex. The default flex direction is row, but I want the flex direction to be column. So it's perfect now. And since I want to see my display too, so how much is my sliding bar? So 1 pixel solid, and how do we like that? Okay. So I want to define my body first of all. Now let's see. I won't be defining is at display flex now because I would show you how it's gonna affect us in the future. So margin 0, padding 0. And also I'm gonna say like the minimum height is 200 view height such that we can scroll down. Now you could see, scroll down. And I want to define the width for this one. Width would be maybe 100 pixels. Is that the width? No, the width maybe 150, I guess. Yes, 150 is perfect, I guess. Okay, and then I'm gonna design my icon too. It should be sliding bar icon. First of all, I want to see the width of this one. Is it like so you could see that the width is limited, so we have to make the width as 100% so that we could adjust the position of this particular icon. If I put it as 100%, it would be 100% of this particular box. So that's the difference between 100% and 100 view width. If you want to see, I could show you right now that you could see that the width would increase for sure. See, as you could see that it's completely covering the whole width of the particular box. And if I want to just align it, I would use text align to right, and you could see that my bar went all the way to the right. So it would be really good if you're defining the border for every box such that you know how you are able to design the things. And now I would design the links too at the same time, sliding bar, and what was that? Did I define any class? ULLI. Oh, maybe I don't want list style type. It would take out this markings over here if I put it as none. See that the markings have gone, and if I also want to like define my links too, and I want to like take it out the underline over here. So if I just take out text decoration is none, you would see that it it has disappeared, and now I want to like define the padding margin for everything. So and also I want to define the width height as 200 wave height, so that it would cover everything. And maybe the background too. I think I have some particular background for this one. Background color is something as hash F4E6D. I think that's something. Hash 0. I think it's yeah, it's the same background. Yeah, perfect. Now I would just take out the borders everywhere, and also for my icon. Yeah. As you could see that the icon have some padding inside, so I would just define the padding too. Maybe 5 pixels everywhere. I think it's good. Now I have to define the padding for the links and everything, so I would define the padding to be maybe 20 pixels. Let's just see how much it would gonna be. 20 pixels is fine. Guess so. Maybe the margin would be 20 pixels. It would be better if we have a margin. Um, and also, first of all, I want to change the color black. Also, the font weight to be bolder. I want the margin to be 20 rather than the padding. It would be better if I pad, because whenever I'll be focusing on that, I want it to be a little bit big. And how about like 15 rather than like, I think it's bold rather than bolder. And I guess it is fine. Home, padding left, or margin right to be 10 pixels. So whenever I'm getting these types of dot, what I do is I just define the footer so that I don't get any confusion. So maybe it's because like I'm defining the link and this one at the same time. So how about if we define this one separately? How about links? Now if I like do this, footer, also I would just take it off and okay, are we getting it now? Okay, so I understood the mistake. It should be like, so it's perfect now. I think like only the styling of the home and everything, but that doesn't matter though. We have got the basic thing, the default thing, and I just don't want this border anymore. Do I need margin padding? And what if I want to see the border actually? I want to put the width for 100% for this one too. And so as you could see that we are not getting the 100% because first of all we have to define the UL width to be 100%, and if we define the UL to be 100%, then we could define the LI to be 100% too. So as we could see that if we are defining the LI to be 100%, then we define this and this, and we just have to define the margin. It would be better if we define the margin rather than the padding. And if I okay, so I should not be using UL and LI at the same time. So what I would be doing is I would take off this and the padding too. So and with 100%. And what I don't need actually everything, and I just want, or all I want is with 100%. Then I don't need this border. I just need the spacing between each other. So I would be using like margin, the top and the vertical things actually. The vertical I want it to be 10 pixels and the 0 to be horizontal. On not maybe 10, 20. Maybe 30. Is it the same? 30 is fine. It's a little bold. We could adjust that. I think 30 is perfect now. And whenever we are hovering in it, these are like having the cursor pointer in default because these are actually links. And we are done with our thing. But all we want now is like to whenever we are increasing the size of the window, we want it to vanish. So all we want these things to work is accurate media and the max width is 576 pixels. Pixels. We want all of this to work only to until maximum width. So now whenever I'm increasing the size of the window, it should vanish actually. No. What? So something's wrong. It should be minimum width. No, something's wrong. So you could see that we had defined the maximum width. So after this width, this should be not visible, this particular thing. So we need to mention that too at the rate of media, at the rate at minimum width of 576 pixels. I want the display to be gone. That is display none of our sliding bar, which is all of this particular div. I want the display to be gone. So whenever you could see that whenever I'm increasing my screen size, the display is gone. The display comes back when it's like crossing the 576 pixel. So first of all, I would like you to know the dimensions, the breakpoints of our particular window. So so you could see that the available breakpoints in our window is like 576 pixels for extra small. If it's like between 576 and 768, it would be small, and greater than 768 it would be medium, and greater than 992 large, greater than 1200 extra large, and greater than 1400 it would be extra extra large. You can Google it anywhere and you would be getting this breakpoint, so it doesn't matter right now. And the another thing which I want to mention is like I'm using display hidden instead of display none instead of visibility hidden. The main difference between display none and the visibility hidden is if I'd be using the visibility hidden, it would have the same amount of, it would act the same, but the visibility hidden would still occupy this particular space, whereas display none would take off this space. Just for an example, if I'm defining something like maybe just for an example, it's just an example, anything, maybe something like this. Where is it defined? Okay, so we have it here, but if like just look upon it, if I put it as display none and I increase the screen size, this particular area would vanish and this would come at the top. So now if you go to the top, we see that our heading is here. But instead of that, if I'm using visibility hidden, you would see that it's occupying the same space and it won't go. Now we have our header here and it would stay here itself. It won't move because we have visibility hidden. We still it will we still have this space which wasn't there in this display none. So that's why we don't want the space to be occupied by the same thing. So that's why we are using the display none instead of visibility hidden. That's the main difference between the both. And the other things which I want to style is, let me take off this one. While I press this button, also I want it to be like cursor pointer. So yes, and when I press this button, this one moves slowly. So first of all, I have defined the width, right? It's the defined width is 150 pixel, and did I define the width of the second one, which is my length? No. Okay, so I want to define the width of my length too. So how about if I define it as maybe 100 pixels? That's perfect. And I want my sliding bar to move position relative to left, because I have this whole one as 150 and this small one as 100 pixels. So if I take it off 100 pixels back, I would just have this one. So if I put it as minus 100 pixels, you could see that it went back and we have only this one. And so I would be having another class in which I would have the left option to be 0. But also, I don't need the background right now. So how about if I use the background in the show class itself? And where is the background? Yeah. Okay, so the background isn't there. So if I go to my document, my JavaScript, and I would define the icon first of all. Document.query selector. Did I define any class for my icon? How about if I just use this one? And it's still okay. So whenever I want to press this one, I want to add the sliding bar too. So constant sliding bar equal to document dot query selector. And I want the sliding bar too. So whenever I'd be pressing the icon button, I want to add an event listener. We have already seen all of this, so it should not be new to you. So it's like click event, and whenever I'm clicking the event, it would be better if I just mention the class, the function which should act, and the function should be show, and our ES6 arrow function should be constant. So I want whenever I'm clicking this button, the sliding our bar should have a class list, and we should add a class of show, which would move it back, and also define the background color. So whenever I would be pressing this, it should come this, but it's coming, and instead of like whenever I'm pressing this back, it should go back too. So instead of add, what if I do it as toggle, such that if there isn't any class, it would add. If there is class, it would remove that. So if I'm pressing it, it's come back. It's coming to the main position, and when I press it back, it goes back. So, but I wanted it to go it in a simple way, to slow manner. So I would just use the transition over here to all, maybe for suppose 1 second is okay. Is fine. And how about if I press it now? No, it's perfect. Well, instead of 1, how about like 0.7? Isn't it perfect now? It's perfect. Yeah, we are done with our first thing. All we want is now to go to our second thing. And so the next thing is that we should have this particular thing. So, but before that, I want this one to vanish too. Why isn't this one getting vanished, the icon? The max width is 576 pixel. When is it getting vanished? Is it less than that? What's our breakpoints? Did I define a separate breakpoint for this one, I guess? I guess so. Maybe I defined a separate breakpoint for this one, but as we could see that as we are crossing the certain breakpoint, it's getting vanished, and our next target is to design this particular home and everything. So I would define it as a header file. So header, oh, okay, sure. Header class, and all I want is like to have the links. So I would just copy paste from here and paste it here, and let's see if we got everything. We got everything, and also we have a button other than this. So how about if we include the button too in our list, which to mean log in with a class. We don't need class, so that's fine. And did we get everything? Yep, we are perfect. And all we want is the header to be the display should be none in this particular section because we don't want it to be visible here, and we would be styling it here, the header. And we want the width to be 100 view width and the display to be flex. So as soon as I put it as flex, everything will be in row. Okay, so it isn't in row because of the link. So So before defining that, I want the border to be 1 pixel solid red. So, and the flex direction to be row. We need not define it because it's in default row. So, but I want the flex in this one instead of this here. I want it to be header and a UL display. Oops, flex. How you could see that because actually that was another div inside, another UL box inside, and I want the justify content to be space in between them, space between, and so we could see that we are having everything here, and also I don't want this same thing, the test decoration and this one, so I would define it ul li comma a, and the text decoration first of all to be taken off, none, and then I want the list style type to be none too, and I want the color to be black. So are we almost there? And maybe a little font weight, bold. Yeah, and maybe the background color too. What was the background color? This one was the background color, and I think we are almost there. Oh no, not here. Not here too. Yeah, perfect now. And I want the border to be taken off. And I would define the width too. Sorry, the height too, maybe 50 pixels. Is it 50? I would also define the margin. Why is it margin to be 0? And so are we done with everything here? And we want the padding to be somewhat, there should be some padding, and I also want to define the border black. Okay, so I need some margin, the padding from the top and the bottom. So padding, I want it to be 5 pixels and 0, 5 pixels vertically. Should be margin better than that. UL or maybe 10. I want to put the margin in my links rather than there. So if I put the margin in my links, that's perfect. And if I just take out the border, okay, it's perfect now. And all I want to design is my button. And button, it should have a border radius of 7 pixels. And do we have anything else? Oh, okay, the background should be black. First of all, the color should be white. It's almost white console, and the background color black with the same. Border should be white too. Pixel solid con silk. Yeah, it's perfect now, I guess. Everything's good. It's just having a padding, but that's fine. And we have got our navigation bar completely. And now what, and also I want is like, is it like cursor pointer already? Yeah. So I want cursor pointer. Whenever I'll be going to that particular button, I could see the cursor pointer too. And so, okay. And so we are done with everything. So we have the same, but all we want is another div, which would bring our this form. So if if I go to the new and I create a new div for this one, so it should be like a maybe form, and it's a dummy link. So I want to create a label for name, and input id is name. As you could see there that we are having here, and name and everything else. So I want to put it in another div with the name. Okay, so we are done with the input. Now I would use what were the other things? Maybe the input, email, and the password. So input, email, password, and the button, and also an icon. So I would take the icon from here, and I think it's the same icon with the name as time. So I would take this icon and just copy paste it here over from. I want it inside the phone, so yeah, and it is actually times. Okay, so we got. I need an email and also password. I'm just putting it as pass, maybe pass. So it should be pass. It should be password too. It should be email. I think we are done with everything, and last thing is a button, and I would use button type submit. Yeah, I'm getting the same design for this one, and it's perfect for me. And I just need to design this one, and since it's the same, what's the name of this one? So since it's a form, so I want the form to be hidden below this. Form display none. So what I need is border is like maybe 1 pixel solid black. So I'm not taking care of the designing part of this one. So okay, and I want the width to be 300 pixels, maybe 250. 250 is fine. 250 is perfect. And I want it to be display flex. Everything in a row. And how about flex direction to be column? Perfect. And anything else? Oh, we want the flex direction and everything. Okay. And we want, and also we want the display none. And I just want to take it off as of now because we want to put it in this JavaScript so that we could use it. Then form, I want the name and everything to be form name dot email dot pass display to be block. I don't think that we need display flex here. Yeah, we do need. Okay, display. Maybe, oh, I need to define the height too for that. Maybe 300 pixels. Why isn't so the display block? Maybe I want to define the what was there the class form as width of 100%, 100 way width, and it also define the border to be 1 pixel solid black, and I would display flex and justify content in the center. So it have this in the center, so that's perfect now. And since we defined it as flex column, I wanted to have equal space, so align item. So border 1 pixel display none. Okay, but before that, I would like to have this border here too, just to get an idea. Okay, or if I have margin top and bottom of 10 pixels and 0, maybe 15. 15 is good, and I want to decrease the height, maybe 200. 200 is 250, I guess. 230. 230 would be best, and also I would define the border radius to be 20 pixels. No, maybe 10. 10 looks okay, and I would also have a padding, maybe 10 pixels everywhere. It looks good. And do we need anything? I want the border to be like 3 pixels. It's perfect. And I want to take off this one. And okay, and I want the labels to be display block. Maybe I should increase the height. 250 is fine. Maybe 300 is perfect. Also need to. Or if I define a class for this one, sub how about if I decrease the width? It's perfect now, and I don't want this one. Yeah. Anything else? I want the icon to be on the right, so what I would do is from I want it to be, I want to see the width of that, the how much it's covering first. I'm just doing it for you guys to like understand it. So since it's covering the end, so I could just define it as like text align to right. So it would just move to the right and there won't be any problem. So we got everything now. Yep, perfect. And do we need some gap over here? Maybe the margin top. Maybe just a little bit, 5 pixels, or maybe 7 would be perfect. So 7 is perfect. So now we got everything, and so I just want to define the login button first of all in my JavaScript. So constant login is equal to document dot query selector, and what I need to define is my button login, and I would define the class in this one for the button login. Um, okay, here's the, oops, I pressed something wrong. Okay, so class login. Okay, so I got my button login now. So whenever I'll be pressing this login button, so what I want is show time to display block, which is actually display none over here. So I want to access the form too. So I would just like constant form document dot query selector. I took the form too. Now what I want is like whenever I'll be clicking the button, I want the form to have a class of show time. Is it show time? Okay, yeah. Login. We got the login, the function. Well, uh, so whenever I'm pressing this button, maybe we need to see if we got any error. So we are able to see an error over here. Cannot read property at limit instead of none null. So since we are not able to have the this one on login, so we have something. Okay, so this one is actually a class. So I need to press this one. So let's see if it's working right now. Let's press this button. Okay, now we are having our phone back, and but why is it in the this there? Didn't we have it in the text align, right? and also the cursor pointer. What happened to the text align? Maybe I would, oops, define the border once again, solid black. Okay. Oh, we're 100%. Yep, it's perfect now. And since it's a cursor pointer too, so I have to access this one too. So for this icon, I would just define a class for this particular icon. Or maybe since there's already a class, I would just take fa times and constant close form document. Oh, since it's a class, close form that add event listener. So whenever I'll be clicking that button, so what I want is to have that get vanished, disappear, and so form dot class list. So if I click that button, it should disappear. So I could just have toggle if it's there, or maybe remove too. Show time. Let's check it out. If you're having this and then this. Okay, so it's getting removed. So I think we are done with everything in our project now. So let's check if we are done with this one. So as we are decreasing the size of our window and when we press this, okay, so we're able to have this and it's going very smoothly because of our transition property. And when the window crosses its particular width, so we are having this and the navigation bar. And whenever I'm like pressing my login button, we are having the form, which is able to take this particular space over here. And when I'm closing, and also the other thing which I need to do is like, so whenever I'm submitting the form, so for now, since we aren't going anywhere, so like after submitting it, so I want the default to not act. Default event which would occur e dot prevent default. So as you could see that whenever I'm pressing the submit button, it won't go anywhere and it would just stay there. So that's what the prevent default do, as we have already seen in our previous project. So we are done with everything right now. The links and the home and everything. So these are the basic things before, like while you design a website, these are the basic things you should know, and you should be very familiar with the display flex because it helps a lot. And also the main classes property and everything. It's actually very easy. You just need to like add the classes and remove the classes actually regarding the CSS when you are designing a website and the other parts. We'll be designing a website soon while we are gradually moving towards our advanced projects. So stay tuned to the projects and thank you very much for watching the video. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.